and welcome to Hollie's Hot Takes. I didn't think I'd be doing a show like this today, but here we are. I'm here with my presents to talk about, obviously, what has happened with Harry Kane, or what should I say that hasn't happened with Harry Kane today. So obviously there was Sky Sports reporters outside the training ground today saying, oh, Harry hasn't turned up to training. We all took the piss and thought, oh, look, it's Sky doing their usual, let's try and big up this Kane story that he's leaving. And he hasn't turned up to training. And then the whole of Twitter goes into utter meltdown. I mean, pretty much utter meltdown. Hello, Nipan. Welcome. I am early as per usual. I'm not very good at sticking to time schedules anymore. Thank you, Nipan. Thank you. Welcome. So, today has been entertaining, to say the least. It's a good job I wasn't at work, because I wouldn't be able to watch it all unfold on Twitter today. But what do we know? Not a lot, really. Because like I tweeted out earlier, I was like, be nice if someone from each party would tell us what exactly is going on from either Tottenham or Kane. That would have been nice. Hi, hello, welcome to the stream. I'm a bit all over the place, to be honest, because to be honest with you, I'm a bit torn in two different places with Harry Kane. I mean, every Tottenham fan will tell you they will not blame Kane if he wants to leave. They're more frustrated in the way he's gone about the business today. Now, who knows, he might not turn up to training today because of his COVID test, but Fabrizio, who we all think and love, that the fact that he is the man that knows all knowledge, that it wasn't to do with COVID tests. So that's that speculation out the window. I personally think he's just left his alarm and overset. Lee, welcome. It's a tough one. I think, personally, on Twitter, I said, I don't know what else he's supposed to do in this situation. People are telling me, well, you need to do it professionally. You need to have that conversation with Daniel Levy. Now, us fans knowing Daniel Levy, I think he's already tried to do that, and obviously it hasn't worked. So he's obviously taken a stand today, saying, I ain't turning up. I'm not training to sort what's going out with my contract. I want to leave. And I think we all kind of know that he wants to leave from that last game at the Lane. Like, the way that he waved to the fans, we're pretty much saying goodbye. So I think people aren't in shock at the fact that he wants to leave. People are more in the shock at the fact of the way he's gone about it. You could say it's not professional because you're paid to turn up to work, and he hasn't decided to turn up to work. But again, we haven't had official word from Tottenham. We haven't had official word from Harry Kane. It's been radio silent, which I think drives us fans more insane. It should be a warning sign for Levy, but I also don't think he cares. I think, again, what is he going to do if City don't come out with more than 100 million fee? They're not. Levy's not going to take it. He wants at least 150, and I don't think City are ready to do that. Hey, hello, you kid. Welcome. Forget Kane. Thank you, Kev. I know how to sign. I know what to do when my mind's made up. It's not right what he's doing, and we know what Levy is like, and the level will probably not sell him now. Probably not, but then do I want a player that's not wanting to play for us? I mean, I go back to the whole Eriksen debacle. Eriksen wanted out 8 months before he played, and look at the state of his performance. Okay, he was professional, turned up to training, he carried on, but his performance at the club those last 8 months weren't brilliant. So I feel like if Levy makes him stay, Levy's definitely going to dig his heels into the ground now, not make him leave. Unless that bid comes in again, which I think is why Harry Kane and everyone is so pissed off, because we haven't had an official bid for the asking price that Daniel Levy wants. So I think Kane's kind of done it a bit backhanded, if I'm going to be honest. Thank you, Yid Kid. Finally. It was a year late, but we got there. Kane can just turn up. I don't think he can. This is what I mean. I mean, I said it yesterday or the day before. People saying about how, what was it? I can't remember what it was. And I said, well, there might be something in his contract to say he doesn't have to turn up. And it was really strange today to see it was a gentleman agreement. Now, I think a gentleman agreement only works if there's a bid in offer and they haven't actually decided what they're doing yet. We know it's 100 million. That's been declined by the club. So I think, as much as I say it like a rubber band. This is the best way to put it, I think. A rubber band, you can pull it and pull it and pull it all you want. A bit like frustration. You pull it a bit this way, okay, you're a bit frustrated, but you let it slide. But it stays in that position. Then you get a bit more frustrated and you pull it a bit more, but eventually it'll snap. And I think with Harry Kane, that's kind of what's happened. He's been so frustrated at all these different things going on. And he did say, even when he signed this 6 year, if it's not going in the right direction, I will say something about it and I won't be happy. I think that's what we all need to remember as well. Lots of people will say, well, you don't sign up for a 6-year contract. No, you don't. But if your manager today said, here's 6 years to extend your contract, you've got this, this, and this, all these lovely, nice things, you ain't going to turn that down, are you? I don't think. So I think to say that, oh, Daniel Levy didn't pin Harry Kane to the ground to say, look, stay for 6 more years, you get this. I don't think that's a right way to look at it. I think, yes, it's not professional the way Harry Kane has gone about today, not turning up to training. But I also don't think there's any other way he could have possibly done it. And I know people will say, well, it's not Daniel Levy's fault. I think it is to an extent. And I think that's what's really starting to tick me off, the fact that everybody's gunning for Harry Kane. But you forget that Harry Kane has been a man that's been in this club for so long. He's given everything to this club. And as soon as we hear wind that he's doing what he wants to do, everyone's flying off the handles and saying it's all Harry Kane. It's a tough one. I think us fans once again lose. But if you haven't learnt that by now, that Tottenham fans always lose when it comes to matters like this, you clearly haven't been a Spurs fan for very long. Holds 100 million for Laporte deal. I think because Harry Kane obviously now wants out, I'm going off of the fact that this rumour is true, that he hasn't turned up to training today because of the fact he doesn't want to play for Tottenham anymore. I would take that deal. We need a new centre-back. I think it's a done deal. Again, we're going to have that problem trying to find a striker because at the moment we've only really got Scarlett. If anybody says Danny Ings, I swear to God, please don't. I have seen that. They are going to find him. Apparently. Which I think today was Harry Kane making a stand, and I think the fine is what the club need to do, because you'll just get players doing this all the time. But for Harry Kane to come out and do something like this, which is completely out of the blue, you've got to start thinking, well, hang on a minute, what's made him do this? And I think it's been under that leadership for quite a long time. That's what I mean. It could. Do you mean Messi coming in, Yidkid, or is that just a typo? This is now a very tricky situation. Do we want an unhappy player? No, of course we don't. So City know the price. We have to set a timescale for City to pay up. If they don't, he stays. I agree. I think that's the only way forward now, isn't it? That's the only way we can really attack it. I don't know. It's such a tough one. That's what I'm saying. I'm not happy at fans going off the wall, but rightly so, because yes, he is being unprofessional in the way that he is going about things. But I think this is the last straw. We all know Daniel Levy's not the best person to talk to, is he? He probably hasn't done anything. We've seen that in the document with Eriksen and things. I don't know. It's really difficult. But hey, Modric did the same thing. Bale did the same thing, and we let Bale come back. So whatever happens with Harry Kane, everybody's kicking off about it, but he'll still be adored. He shouldn't have signed a 6-year contract, no. But like I've said, if your work offer you a 6-year contract with a swanky new price tag, this, that, and the other, you ain't going to turn it down. This is what I'm saying. People are saying, oh, but Daniel Levy didn't pin him down. No, he didn't. But when you've got no other offer on the table, it is a very tough one to say. And this is another thing. We don't actually know the ins and outs because, once again, our club have not informed us and Harry Kane hasn't said anything. So it's all speculation. And once again, why should we sell him for less than what we value him at? Levy will tell him City 160 million, he stays. And there you go. We will see how much City want for him. His action is classless. I do agree to an extent. Like I've said, I think turning up to training, you wouldn't not just turn up to work unless you had a viable clause not to. But I just think Harry Kane, like I said with this rubber band analogy, if the club wasn't going in the right direction, he said he'd want to talk about it. Now, I think, being obviously an Enic outer, I'm not a Levy lover, I can see Levy is trying to make changes and getting, I can't say his name, Don Fabio, getting the likes of, obviously, Nuno, who's... I'm still not happy about that. Maybe that's why Harry's had enough, because he thought he was getting Conte. We've got Nuno in. So, I don't know. I think, to an extent, his action towards us fans is what has killed me most. But I'm also sat there thinking, what else is he going to do? You can't have a chat with Daniel Levy. He's probably tried that multiple times. It hasn't worked. Levy's 100% the problem always been, whether it's exactly this. It's taken us, 4 weeks to try and sign a centre-back? I hope you're right, Ewan. I don't know now. Now that he's made this stance, I think it kind of says, I think actions speak louder than words at the moment. I think that's what he's trying to show. Harry's probably had these conversations and it means nothing. Now he's actually decided, you know what? I ain't turning up to training. Was it 6 year contract with no clauses issued? That was his agent's undoing. Well, we all know who we can blame tonight then. His right-hand man, his brother. How would you spend the 160 mil for Kane? We'd have to get a new young striker. I know we've got Dane Scarlett, but we need someone that's obviously been there, done it a little bit. And we need a centre-back. And I'd love a right-back. That's saying a lot. No, I mean how Messi really wanted to leave Barca when it comes down to hurting Barca, he didn't because he loves the club. The same thing could happen with Harry. It could do, but I don't know. I think... I keep saying this. I think he's hurt the fans, which I 100% agree with. He has hurt the fans. But with my football head on, and with how we know how Daniel Levy operates and how this board operates, he has probably had those conversations. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but I'm assuming he's had those conversations and nothing's worked. So this is the last straw. This is the last roll of the dice. You've always got to take risks in your career. Maybe this is his risk. His roll of the dice. Final shot for Harry is Jose getting the tin tattoo with the pet. That's another thing. You sacked Jose before a cup final, okay? And we know why that was, to save money, because if Jose won the final, it would mean that his sacking money would be higher. So you get to a final and then you lose your manager that's going to win you the final, hopefully, because he's been there, done it. Then you don't have a manager for ages. You've got an interim manager in Ryan Mason. And then you get word that you're going to get Conte in. Nothing. And then you get Nuno. I think it's just very... like I said, it's this rubber band effect. With Kane, it's just frustration. He's let it slide. And now he's like, you know what, I've had enough. And it's snapped. And this is his way of snapping. Possibly this as well, Lee. I think it's a combination of lots of different things. It's always a combination of loads of different things, which really ticks me off. It's never always one person. But again, I think who holds the majority of that is the board once again. And I get it, yes. It's not Levy's fault to an extent because he's your product at the end of the day. If they're not coming in with the asking price, you're not going to sell your product off for cheap, are you? You're still going to want that asking price. It's just a very, very disgusting and sticky situation right now. If City want him, then pay up. They want to get Kane at the same amount. Jack, no chance. Agreed. I think 100 million is too little. 100%. I know he's getting on Kane, but he's still banging them in left, right, and centre. This is what I'm saying. And I agree. We can't accept no less than 150. It's got to be 150, or 120 to 150 plus a player. I think it's just a combination of loads of different things. He's tried to have a chat with Levy and the board. They're not having it, so he's like, "Oh, sod it. You know what? I want out. I'm going to prove I want out, and I'm going to make a stand." I think someone said this is third public outrage, I think. Obviously, that Gary Neville... Was it Gary Neville? I get confused between the two. We had that walk down the golf course, and he was saying about his career and things. That was the first warning sign. Him not actually saying, "No, I want to stay at Tottenham, it's this, that, and the other." Normally, he comes out and says, "Tottenham this, Tottenham that," and he didn't. And that's why this transfer window, I think we've all been in the back of our heads, he's going. But I think we're all disgusted at the fact the way he's done it. But I also, part of me is like, I'd probably do the same. Guys to watch if City deal doesn't go through. Some fans might forget not turning up for training. Being professional, fair play to Grealish today. I agree, that is true. Grealish did turn up to training today, which is fair enough. But he also hasn't had to deal with this shit for as long as Kane's had to deal with it. So, on a professional level, yes, Grealish has done the right thing. On a personal level, if I had to deal with that shit and things weren't necessarily going my way, or I've had these conversations with the board and I don't think they're doing what I think, I'd probably do the same. I'm not going to lie to you. Right? Oh dear. Sad to see if it gets what they failed. Kane not winning anything. It's potentially the ruined fan legacy 3 years. But the trouble is, Jonah, this is the thing. A lot of people are slating Kane today, but we let Bale back to our club after he did exactly the same thing. I don't know. It's very fickle. Hello, Orange. Also, if Levy doesn't want to sell him for anything less than 150 mil, can't see Kane protesting for long as he still wants the individual records. True. I think it needs to have a time span on it, Hugh, and I think you're exactly right. Kane's actions today, how have we got here today? Levy, Ennick. Thank you, Bob Spur. Thank you very much. It just infuriates me. that's the thing. I keep saying this, Bob, right? People say, oh, Grealish was professional. Yes, he was professional, but he doesn't have that shit board behind him. I've said it, I'm going to keep going back to this rubber, but I don't know if you were here, Bob. I said Kane's frustration is like a rubber band. He gets frustrated at something, I don't know, trying to think now. Not signing, I don't know, great player to play behind him. You extend the rubber band a little bit more. Kane's frustration that Jose sat, it goes a bit more. Frustration that we never got anyone in to replace Jose. We thought we were getting Conte. It goes a little bit more. And I think today he's just snapped because he's like, I want out. You're not doing anything. He's probably talked to the board and not said anything. Bang. The rubber band's gone. It's snapped. And he's had enough. And I agree. Kane's actions were wrong today. But I've said it again. If I was in his shoes, after giving so much to the club and now I'm like, they're not listening to me. I want to do this. Yeah, okay. No player is bigger than a club. But we saw it with Eriksen. Like, you don't hold on for him as long as you want. If they want to go, they want to go. And I do agree to an extent that I think City are just playing hard to get. I just think they know. I think they know the situation with Kane and how Kane's feeling, which is why they're trying to play hard to get, in the sense that they'll just keep their offer low until something snaps. I think today is the penultimate play. I think there's something definitely going on behind the scenes. I'd hate to think whether Kane's had that conversation with City, but I wouldn't be surprised necessarily if Kane's feeling the way I'm expecting him to feel, in the sense that he's just had enough. I can see him trying all different kind of things. And I think when you get to that stage with a rubber band snapping, all kind of morals go out the window, which is quite sad and to an extent not professional from Kane. But there's only so much frustration you can take. I've been there, done it. There's only so much you can take. So like we haven't got the finals, had the chances and not shown up. I agree, but most of those times he's been injured. Kane deserves to win trophies, let him go. I think I agree he needs to. I think he should go. I think he deserves to go. But again, it's this money thing. I think City are playing a tactical game. Thank you, Bob. That's with personal situations as well. If that was me having to put up with that shit for so long, I think my professionalism would go out the window. I'd be like, nah, bad enough. Modric, Eriksen, now Kane. What's the common denominator? Exactly, Kev. If this is the first time, then fairs, okay, I'll be like, what are you doing? But I think the thing that's even more staggering is the fact that it's Harry Kane. The man that you would not ever expect to do anything like this. And if you're telling me, oh, but it's Kane, he's being hypocritical. He's been in the same environment with the same owners for this long. Are you so blind to the fact that you can't see the same denominator is? This is all I'm saying. I'm like, I don't agree with what Kane's done with a professional head on or a fan's head on, personal head on. I'm like, yeah, good on you. No, he hasn't got his England hat on. He looks a bit bald without his England hat on. Hello, Darren. Was it a gentleman that Levy would accept a bid be found acceptable? I believe so, Hewan. I think that's the thing. And I think, obviously, the agent, his brother, has clearly not read the small print. And I think that's what that's what I mean. A gentleman agreement, like in COD, is like, you can use it if, like, everyone's okay with it, sort of thing. Like, you can sit out trading if we've had a bid for you at the right amount we want. But sadly, I don't think they've really done their homework in that, really. It was pretty obvious that Kane would start doing this. He's clearly being kept at Tottenham against his will. Literally. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it hurts us fans, but if you haven't learnt fans always lose at this club, where have you been? But this is what I'm saying. I think it has hurt our fans because we never thought he'd do this. It's not the right way to go about things, but like I said, when a rubber band snaps, you've had enough, that's it. Fun fact, only Harry Kane has won equal amount of trophies compared to Man City last season. Kane, Golden Boot, top playmaker, Manchester City, Premier League, Carabao Cup. Thank you, Orange. Hello. Kane, don't make me do the, Kane? Jade, don't make me do the, impression. What a day. It has been a day. I even got a leaflet through the door as well, trying to sell me a Saints season ticket. I was not pleased. Are you going to get? No, I'm not. No, we have lost Toby. So we'll lose Kane too. Kane will score his first own. Yeah, fucking sell me now. Oh dear. Do you think it's a surprise of his unprofessionalism and Kane-like behaviour today that has hurt it, angered? I think so. I think it was because it was a shock to the system. But this is what I'm trying to say. Like, you've got someone like Harry Kane that knows how these fans are like. They know that he's, to us, a god, let's say. He is. Like, as not horrible as that sounds, but as weird as that sounds to say, he is like a god to us Tottenham fans. And for him to disrespect the club kind of disrespects us in a sense that there's no player bigger than the badge. And I do agree with that. And I think it's angered people because they're like, whoa, what is he doing? That's not what you do at Tottenham. That's not what our star boy does. And I think that's what's ticked people more. But I kind of look at it in the flip side in the sense that what has made Kane, the man that's so professional, do this, that's what staggers me more, that more people will go after Kane than realising actually what's made him think like this. I think that's something people are really missing with, and I think that's what ticks me off a bit more. The fact that they're going at Kane being like, whoa, you can't do this isn't right, what do you think you're doing? And actually thinking, this guy bleeds Tottenham. He's given everything he can. He's even played in finals, which I don't agree with, when he's been injured. Like, I don't know how your brain can't comprehend the fact that he's changed because something has happened. We can't really argue if he's so risky. We ain't gonna win anything next season. It's true. What are you saying? There's no point keeping him if his heart isn't in it. What's the point? Exactly. Let him go. But I agree. Daniel Levy needs to get the right price for him. But then do you run the risk of keeping a player that don't want to play for the shirt anymore for whatever's left on his contract? Hello, welcome. Welcome, Tiny. Welcome to the stream, my friend. That is another true fact, Orange. We are quite lucky. Again, it's empty promises. The rubber band keeps getting longer and longer and longer, and eventually, and today it snapped. Hello, Stuart. Welcome. Just popped on. It's a shame it has come to this. Kane is not a great position, though. We won't see them on the cheap, and I can't see Man City paying, so I think he's stuck with us. Agreed. I think he has put himself in a sticky situation, but like I keep saying, I don't know what else he was supposed to do. People saying you should have had a chat with Levy and that. He probably has. That is, being as professional as Harry Kane, he probably has had those chats and nothing has come of it. I just think it's a silly play from him, but one I would personally do myself if I'd had enough. So it is hardship. But thank you for popping in. Welcome. Man City tactics get to us except money they want for Kane. Hollie, that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's dodgy dealings behind the scenes. Can we not talk about Ghent? All right, that was the first Europa League game I went with my family, and we sat up in the heavens at Wembley. It's a horrendous game. I don't want to talk about it. Harry was clearly sold a fantasy dream when he was. This is what I keep saying. Yes, he wasn't pinned to the ground to do a 6-year deal, but who wouldn't take up a 6-year deal if you're given all these lovely things? Well, I don't think Aubameyang is like. I'm just not going to comment. I can kind of see what you're saying though, but not because it's Aubameyang. He's not like. He hasn't been your longest talisman, if you know what I mean. Kane's been there for a bloody long time. Do you think you'd be able to keep Kane? No. Don't think so, would he? I think he's had enough, mate. When you've had enough of something, trust me, you don't want to do it anymore. I don't either. You don't. I will blame Charlie Kane because he has whispered in his brother's ear saying if you want to move, make a stand. I agree, Tony, but like you've said, he's 28. He's 28. Like, football careers are short. He's got to make that choice now. Yeah, exactly this. It's just, it hurts more. I love Bale. I had posters on my wall of Bale, and when he left, I was devastated. And again, he didn't turn up to training because he wanted that move. Never happened. I wouldn't say it's been like throwing your toys at your pram. I just think I don't think Levy and Ennett work well with words. You need actions because they're just blind and deaf to words. I did get the point. Thank you, Edison. I like it. I did like it. Charlie Kane out. That's a new hashtag to get trending. I like it. I think Kane was actually at home today, just watching Roper draw. Someone said on Twitter that he was doing the draw. That's why I wasn't there. I just think his alarm overran. The thing is, I want to remind everyone, yes, Fabrizio has said it and multiple media outlets, but we actually haven't heard any word from either of them, which is why I'm trying to be a bit hopeful. It might sound stupid, but this is all I'm saying. It could be a misunderstanding, which would be hella funny in hindsight, but not, because it would just be Tottenham all over. Taylor's also the goalkeeper for us, UFP, so it also loses. Oh dear. That's very true, Orange. Folk forget Poch as a club when he signed that deal. Very true. Very true, Kev, there. Thank you. Hello, Alan. Yeah, I went early as usual, as per usual. I'm not very good at sticking to guidelines anymore. Guidelines? Schedules. But welcome, Alan. You're here now. It's all that matters. I mean, in terms of being a fan's favourite, Bama is an Arsenal fan's favourite, and Kane is a Spurs fan favourite. You wouldn't expect Spurs fan favourites to do that. No, that is a better way of putting it. In terms of comparing Aubameyang in the lights of Kane, as in, I wouldn't say Aubameyang as a professional as Kane, but that's me with a personal outlook at it. But yeah, I agree. To that extent, the King, you're true. Like, Aubameyang is an Arsenal favourite. You wouldn't expect him. Well, I could probably see him doing it, but anyway, Kane's done it now. I don't grudge Harry Kane for a move, but the way he's going about it is unprofessional. Agreed, Tony. I do agree. But like I've said, the whole rubber band scenario, when you keep letting shit carry on, you're going to snap it. And I think today's him making his stand. And yeah, it is shit, because it does hurt us fans. But like I said, us fans never win. Much as people make a joke about it, it's trophies which are going to force his move. For Kane, he's good. He deserves trophies, medals. I agree. I just think the thing that's angered Spurs fans is the way he's gone about it. But I would do it. If I had enough, I would do it. And that's me being honest. We don't even have a backup striker. The trouble is, this is the thing, okay? I'm going to go back to it all over again. Kane wanting to leave started before the Euros. If you watch that it's Gary Neville, isn't it, with the golf thing, he didn't say, I want to stay at Spurs. Well, normally, he's got some inkling that he's going to stay at Spurs. He wants to stay at Spurs. We had nothing of the sort. He was talking about trophies. Tottenham aren't going to win a trophy next year. And if we do, I'll be eating my words and I'll be loving it. But right now, I cannot see us winning a trophy next year. And in that documentary, he was talking about how he wants to win trophies. That's not going to happen at Tottenham. So, for me, we knew that before the Euros. Now, if the board were proactive, they would have been like, oh shit, I think Harry Kane wants to leave. Yes, Man City haven't come in for a bid yet. But they can probably tell what Harry Kane's like at training. Like, you don't keep that professionalism up the whole time. If he's ticked off, he's going to show it in his training. Okay, he didn't turn up today, but you know what I'm saying? He's going to show that. He's going to be talking, and especially, he's going to the Euros to talk with all the other England players. Jack Grealish is rumoured to go to Man City. Who knows if they've had a conversation? This is what I'm saying. Again, we've just sat back and not been like, oh, okay, we might have to do some dealings in the summer. Let's get some players lined up. But again, just do it. We've left it too late. So this is the thing. It's just a shit situation to be in. Harry's going to start a new record for Tottenham. Hollie, if Winks is sorry going, yes, he's out the door. Hoiberg's going straight up there. I've always been brought up, the club is bigger than... Agreed. And I do agree with that. It's the same. Everybody kicked off when Bale didn't turn up to training, then pissed off to Real Madrid, but we let him back into our club how many years later? So we all have a very, very, very forgetful brain, I think. And all of this, he will leave a club. Yes, we'll be angered, but we'll look back at it and be like, he did what's best for him. And I think that's what we also need to remember. Yeah, it's shit as fans, but it always is shit as fans. We never win. That's not going to happen, so I'm going to ignore it. The fact Kane is leaving Spurs worries me as an Arsenal fan. I can't read the rest of it. Lautaro Martinez and the money Spurs get for Kane. Possibly. Yeah, because you're going after him, aren't you? Could be interesting. The blame should not be directed at Harris. Thank you, Lee. Thank you. We've been this has been festering for a long time. And like I said, rubber bands snap, and when they snap, they don't get fixed easily. Well, they don't really go back together. Levy will probably sign a replacement striker like so. Oh my god, can we not? He'd probably try and make Dane Scarlett become our number one striker. Now, I think obviously there's rumours saying that Dane Scarlett has better potential than Harry Kane, but you do not stick him in at the age of 16, nearly 17 into the Premier League. That would be horrendous. So that could be something I could see us doing. That is very true. I forgot about that, Stuart. We could win. We could win something before the season's even began. No. I love Defoe. And he's banging them in. Rangers. Banging them in at Rangers still. But Berbatov did exactly the same thing. He wanted to move, didn't turn up to training, bang, moved. So he's probably falling in the footsteps. Kane is a perfect professional, but this is a wrong on his part. But if Levy would have handled the situation correctly, we wouldn't be in this situation. Thank you. That is a great way of putting it. Yes, he is wrong on his part, but who's led him to do what Kane normally wouldn't do? And that's the thing that is really ticking me off, that fans are just skipping past all of that and being like, no, Harry Kane's dead to me now. I don't understand it. Levy can't allow Kane to go. He's our only marquee player. This would be terrible for sponsors. Agreed. But again, it's like Sonny's just signed a new deal. And Sonny in shirt sales has brought in more revenue than Kane. So, I think it's disastrous if Kane goes for us. Short term and maybe long term, depending on if we get a new striker. I don't think we're going to get one though. Please don't. I hate that man, Chiellini. No, I don't like Chiellini. Something. We get Harry Kane back at the end of the career when he's using similar. It's still banging goals though. Oh no, shit! I've missed one. I don't think the blame is taken with Levy. We spent nearly 600 million under Poch. Was it 600 mil? I read something. It was like 259. I thought it was we invested 259 while City invested 600. I think you might have got that round the wrong way. That title challenge when we should have won the league, but Leicester beat us. That year after, I think we invested, that year we invested 250 mil, while others around us invested triple that. So I'm not too sure. But if you also look at that, nearly spent 600 million. That's over the course of him being there, and he was there for a very long time. So in comparison to every other team for that duration, we've probably spent the least. With Carter Vickers in the club. I didn't even realise that man was still there. He just said he's going to divorce to keep him in the house. Tough. He's there for banter now. Scarlett is way too young. It would be unfair for Dane to put the kind of pressure on a young 17-year-old shoulders. Harry does. We need to get some proper quality in. Agreed, Lee. But I can see the club doing that. Just because it worked with Harry Kane, it'll work with this kid. Like, even though we gave Harry Kane loads of loans out, I still don't. I don't know. We're in utter turmoil. I think if Grealish signs with City, I don't think Kane will go City. Don't think they will get both. I agree. But then, oil money FC, you never know. And this is the thing. I think this is a stint. Like, you're not telling me Harry and Grealish have not spoken about things while they were in the Euros. Like, I don't know. It's really difficult. And this is the thing that ticks me. We haven't had nothing from either parties. It's pure speculation. And we're getting all irate, pissed off at Kane. Everybody's bypassing the fact why he's doing this, because the people at the top have been absolute thingies and turned him into this. Do you know what I mean? I need to breathe. Or else there's been any signings made that could potentially keep him at the club. So we have signed Golini on loan as I'm assuming a backup goalkeeper. I'm hoping they're going to phase him in to maybe phase Lloris out. We've got rid of Lamela, so that's iconic. We've got Gil, who's an up-and-coming, apparently a mini Cruyff. But again, that's all under speculation and assuming. That's not hard facts at the moment. And we're hopefully getting Romero in, but that's taken about 4 weeks, which is another thing. The fact that it's taken so long and Atlanta keep pushing and pushing and pushing, that makes me wonder whether they know that Kane's wanted out for a long time. I just think both parties are being very secret, and I think there's stuff going on behind the scenes. If Poch spent that much, most managers would be sacked for not winning anything. Agreed. He did lose to Lille. Was it yesterday? and they were on an 8-year streak winning that cup. Anyway, it's a massive win for Spurs in terms of individual awards last season. Golden Boot, Kane, most assists, Kane. Like, what more does he want to do? Lamela. I want Harvey White to get good, crack at Tottenham this season. What's your opinion on the youth? I like Harvey White. He was on loan at Portsmouth, and I like Portsmouth. I think we have a lot of potential, which is nice. But again, possibly under Nuno, he might burst them into the squad a bit, like Jose was trying to do to change his outlook of him. But I think we give the youth a good shot. I think they are decent. You've got Alfie Devine as well. It's not all doom and gloom. It just currently is right now. Is it anyone that Pochettino was sacked? Probably the only time I can say one of Levy's sacking made sense. Agreed. He did come to the end of his tenure. He weren't really boosting out. I think, I keep saying this, as much as that was a crazy UCL run to the final, it was all based on luck. And you do need a lot of luck in football, I think. It's not all... I think luck does play a part in football. But to get to that final the way we did, it was hiding a lot of cracks that were happening in the Premier League. So I 100% agree. I think the sacking of Pochettino was right. I don't think the sacking of Jose was... I knew it had to happen, but at least give Jose to the end of the season. But again, he was sacked before a final because they'd have to pay more money if he won the final. Now, if that doesn't tell you things about our board, I don't know what does. Dyer starts... Oh my God. Kane decision. Nuno's British. That's just horrendous. The fact that they tweeted out, didn't they, today, it was so many years ago, Dyer signed for the club, and I think to myself, yeah, he's staying then. Harry Kane claims a gentleman's agreement all summer with Daniel Levy. When it comes to the time to act like a gentleman himself, he does this. Alan, you are correct. I don't know if you missed what I was talking about earlier. I think, obviously, Harry Kane's agent, his brother, has obviously not read what a gentleman's agreement means. It means if an offer comes in and the club still decide not to do anything with it, gentleman's agreement is I'm not going to start training because you've got an offer in. And the fact that he hasn't got an offer in isn't really a gentleman's agreement. But like I keep saying, Alan, frustration for Harry Kane, I think, is like a rubber band. It's the only way I can put it. I'm probably, people that have watched the stream for how long it's been live, are probably really bored with this saying. But frustration is like a rubber band. I mean, Harry Kane didn't get someone to sit behind him to feed him balls. The rubber band goes a bit. You let it slide. Jose gets the sack. The one man that elevated Harry Kane's performances to not only being a world-class striker, but being someone who could play deep, spray the ball out wide, that elevated his game. He gets a sack. He gets more frustrated. The rubber band gets even, I don't know how to explain that, tighter. Then there's word we're getting Conte in. So it releases a little bit. Then we're not getting Conte in. It gets a bit further. We've got Nuno. Bang. Talk about my contracts, blah, 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 blah. Do something about it. He's so frustrated, it's gone snap. Now, it's not professional. But if I was in that situation and I had to put up with all that crap Harry Kane's been had to put up with, I think I'd snap too and make a stand. Because I think with this club, they don't really read words or listen to words. It's actions that make them think. I think that's what Harry Kane's tried to do. But I agree with you. It's not professional. But in my head, I'd probably do it. And I think that's the thing that I keep saying. The fact that Harry Kane, the most professional man on this planet, I think, to an extent of the world football, has all of a sudden snapped. Now, if you're having a go at Kane before you're thinking what has happened to this man to think like this, you need to kind of have a look. Because there's no way a man has just flipped a switch like that. There's no way a man's just turned off the professional filter and been like, nah, I'm not having it anymore. That's lots and lots of years, well, you could even say years upon years of frustration, and he's finally had enough. So it is very difficult, I think, to have a full-blown hatred towards Harry Kane right now, because my full-blown hatred is to the people that have made him be like this, because you would never in a million years expect him. And I think that's what's hurt a lot of us, because it has hurt me. You would never think Kane to do this. If you sit down and think for a minute, actually, yeah, if I was ticked off at something for so many years, I'd probably snap. City needs to replace Aguero. They know Jesus isn't capable of leading the line. They need that world-class presence. It depends whether they go... I don't think they're going for Haaland anymore, but I think that's the only thing that's really... I was hoping going to keep Kane, but obviously not. I haven't known much about Galini, to be honest, but I appreciate the fact that Galini is quality. Thank you, Nippon. All I've heard from reports that other social media accounts that Man City don't really spend over 100 million. This is a thing I just don't know. I don't know whether City are playing the long game here. Oh my god, I've gone past everything. What's you talking about? Gareth Bale? Well, like, he's missing. Did the math, spent around 450 minutes. Okay, so it wasn't 600. That's what I'm saying. But you look at all the other clubs, Ewan, in that time frame. Other clubs probably spent double that. So am I. I bloody hope so. I'm going to watch... Are you talking about the World Cup or are you talking about the Women's Euros? Because the Women's Euros... Oh, no, 2022. What happened in 2022? Oh, we're in 21 now. Oh, the World Cup, you're assuming you're talking about. Harvey White is too vanilla for me. Why? Hello, man with a great surname. Hi, it could be delusional. Don't answer that, lol. But Kane could have just gone straight to a meeting with Levy. I'm sure there are flow tests in the stadium. It is a COVID centre after all. Possibly, Chris. Plus, the first day training is about being weighed and check up. Do they do that in the stadium? Do they not have those facilities at the ground? I mean, Sky Sports News today were acting like it's deadline day. That's the thing that ticks me off as well. The cracks were because 3 transfer windows and no signings, though. Agreed. But who do you blame for that? Again, Poch already hacked off and he just let it snap. This is what I'm saying. He does. He did lose last night. Jose should have been allowed to see out the season. I personally would have said Jose stay, but I'm not a Muppet chairman. I agree to this as well. I think we all knew Jose's time at the club was over, but everybody says no man is bigger than a club. No, but you decide to sack him before a cup final that he would probably be able to win because he's been there and done it before. I know it was against City. I remember watching it now. But again, like, I don't know. That's a whole nother different conversation. England win the trophy on country over club. Because I'll be fucking 90 by the time Tottenham win something. Kane should lose his incaps if it... Whoa, Jesus Christ, said Warderson. Have you not been listening to me for the last 30-odd minutes? Sadly, this is what Tottenham does to people, even the best of us. Exactly this. This is what I'm saying. I'm so numb to it now. Didn't Levy ask Kane to stay for a year when Marino came in? Now he has a gentleman's agreement to leave. Alan, you've just thrown a spanner in the works. Maybe that's what the gentleman... I think it was the other day I said something, like people were kicking off at the fact that... What was it? Not that he didn't sign up to training, but he's obviously gone radio silent because he was on holiday, this, that and the other. And people were kicking off. And I was like, well, we don't know his contract in and out. But like you've just said, Alan, maybe the gentleman agreement was with a year to stay under Jose, which I think it was because I think Stell from Tottenham Away said the same thing on Twitter today. That's all I'm saying, but we're all jumping the gun and blaming Harry Kane. He's... Hopefully we're rebuilt before then. It only takes so much before Harry finally snapped, and that's how he has. Thank you very much, Lee. In modern football, players have to miss training in order to make everyone know who was. Thank you, Orange. I told you, words at this club do not matter, sadly. We've got the biggest professional talking to the most unprofessional buffoons in the world of football at the board of our club. Yeah. And this is the thing that keep playing in my brain. How can the most professional man, I believe, in world football, Harry Kane, suddenly flip a switch like that? It doesn't. And you need to think why he's done that. And you think, oh, it's because he's put up these tossers for so long. I need to chill out. So Harry Kane has to go. He's 28 years old. It's his career. It's his career on the line. I just know it's unprofessional from him. It's hurt a lot of us fans because, like we keep saying, no player is bigger than any club. At the end of the day, we're all human. If something's pissed us off, it's pissed us off. That's it. That's what I'm like. It's no going back. Kane should lose it in capacity. Very true. Hello, Ross. This West teams won their second trophy last night. Didn't they beat Mexico? They beat Mexico? Isn't that like, didn't you do that to them last time as well? So that's probably bittersweet. I understand what you're saying, Hollie. I completely agree. I hold Levy, Lewis, and it capable for not sending the season on this watch, etc. All players that do this, I criticise as unprofessional. I agree, Alan. I do agree what you're saying. It is unprofessional, and yes, he did sign a 6-year deal. But like I keep saying, yes, Daniel Levy didn't pin him down. But when you've got a lucrative deal in front of you and nothing really else going, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say? You're not going to turn it down. I think it's just Kane's put himself in a very awkward situation, and I think it's just now the penny's dropped. I'm stuck in this deal for 3 years. I want to go win some trophies because it's not heading in the right way. I've got no other option to snap and not do this because, like I said, it's very difficult. What did I miss you say? I skipped past it. I just think it's like if you snap, you snap. That's what I'd personally do. If I had enough, I'd snap, and I do. If I've been ticked off for so long and I've said something, keep saying something, it's not going through to someone's brain, I will do something and snap. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just the way I am, but to not give him captaincy for England, it's a tough one. It's just a mess because we'll forget about this in 2 seasons' time and be like, oh yeah. And the World Cup's what next year? I just don't think it's that much of a big deal that everybody's making it out to be. It's because we're Tottenham fans and we're so passionate, but we just need to let our emotions go because we always get hurt. Maybe. Levy were the best chance players to win a cup, sacking Mourinho for a final. I think it was Kane would be the last straw and shows Levy ambitious over glory, which is exactly it. We say there's no player bigger than the club. There shouldn't be. Well, sadly, he owns the club. But what I'm saying is he's lost out on winning a cup final, a trophy for us fans and the club for the sake of a few £1 million again. Because he thought, oh, it's cheaper to sack Jose now. This is what I'm saying. Oh, I need to calm down. The thing is, we'll be talking about this tomorrow. If Harry Kane doesn't turn up again, here's a breach of contract. It is a breach of contract. I have heard there's rumours that he's going to be fined, which is fair enough, because it is unprofessional. But again, be like, sod it. All right, fine, I'll get fined. But I've said my bit in actions, because words do not matter to this club. Or should I say the people of this club. Also about Kane would be good replacement Chris Evans. Jesus Christ. If you are new to the stream, welcome. I do Hollie's hot takes now and again. They're more regular at the moment because of all the shit show that's going on. So if you wouldn't mind hitting that sub button, it would mean the world. But I see there are a lot more new people in it and returning people. So thank you very much on this fine Monday evening. It's pretty damn obvious that Harry Kane has done this, but you have maintained the right standards to remain England captain. Fair enough, Edwarderson. Fair enough. I just think I'm very hot-headed, and I'm like, well, if you've had enough, say something about it. And if words aren't enough, not violently, but do you know what I mean? Make a stand. That's what I'm like. We still have Dyer. Jason, please stop reminding me. That tweet the other day triggered me when he said, oh, it's been so many years since Dyer's been at the club, and I'm like, oh, he's not leaving then. Harry Kane said a clear Manchester City transfer messages amid rumours about the Tottenham star. Pardon? Elaborate, Sam. Yeah, with our B team, I'm kind of torn. The Kane thing, I understand he wants out, but Levy isn't going to sell him for less than he's worth, so it shows up for trading or not. This is the thing. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to even. This is what I mean. I'm very much like, I'm not gonna slate Harry Kane for making a stand, because I said Levy doesn't work with words. We've seen it countless times. Making an action seems to be the only way to get things done. Berbatov, Bale, who else was it? Modric. They all did the same, and they managed to get their move. I wouldn't say it's throwing your toys out your pram. I think it's just be like, look, listen, because words don't work with the club. Actions do. But again, it's not professional. But like I've said this whole stream, for someone that is so professional like Harry Kane to then suddenly flip a switch, how are you not thinking in your head what has made him do that? That's all I'm saying. If you're going to slate Harry Kane, you need to think, well, why has he suddenly flipped a switch? This isn't, you can't do that. That isn't a thing. It's a built-up of frustration, and he's finally like, oh, sod this, I've had enough, he's not listening. So I think you kind of have to look at it without a Tottenham heart, if that makes sense, which is very hard to do because we're all passionate Spurs fans. We have to sit back and be like, right, this man's done this for the club. He hasn't won a trophy. He's got loads of personal accolades. Knows world class. He signed a 6-year deal. Yes, he agreed to it, but you're not going to turn that down if it rocks up on your doorstep. I think it's very clever from Daniel Levy in a sense that, haha, I've got you. You can't leave even if you want to leave. This is what I'm saying. I think it's very hard to... I don't think anyone's in the right and I don't think anyone's in the wrong. I just think Harry Kane's made it a little bit harder now for him in terms of respect for the fans, because there's not many of me that are sat here thinking, what's made you be like this? So I think it's going to be very hard for him to rein it back in. And Man City haven't offered their bid any higher. It's just a very, very awkward situation. And once again, we fall short of it because we're the fans and we always get cut short and we always manage to lose in these things. Exactly this. No ledge is the power one. No knowledge. Oh my god. Knowledge is the power one. Oh my days. Exactly that. You need to fight fire with a fire because that's all he seems to know. Harry Kane is £20 per week. What are you on weekly, lol? Yeah, I'm not on that, certainly. I'm far from that, Edwardson. But I feel like in modern day football, I don't know. I have nothing to say for that. Yeah, that is a true point. When you're on that much money, you have slightly more implications to snapping like it. But if you're forever being yes man and not sticking up for yourself, you'll never know what if. I think this is his what if moment. Fines will help pay for Romero. We'll wait 4 fucking weeks for it. That's going to add the 2 bob bits. I think Man City told Kane to do this. This is what I mean. I feel like you can't go to the Euros with Jack Grealish, who knows there's talk about him going to City. You can't tell me that they haven't had this conversation. I think, like I said, I think this is a very tactical move from both Kane and City. And I'd hate to think like that. I'd hate to think that they've had a discussion behind. But like I said, when you snap, I think you try anything. Have you ever considered doing it? I mean, I would, but the trouble is, Nippon, with my schedule, I'm very much like, oh, I have a free hour tonight. Let's whip it up. I'm not like, if people are able to jump on at any time, sure, why not? Because obviously, Hollie's Hotspurs will still run through the season. Once everything's back up and running, I'll have guests on again because I really like doing these. But I think Hollie's Hot Takes is quite nice because during Hollie's Hotspurs, it's really hard to get people's information up. But if you're down for a call-in show, why not? Let me know what you guys think. If you want a call-in show, I could get you on maybe for Hollie's Hot Takes. We could have a Hollie's Hot Takes call-in special or something. Let's be honest, if it wasn't for injuries, it would have moved on to exactly that. Leddy King wouldn't be here. Would have moved on as well. And he's still back there. It is, yeah. We always have this discussion, and who are the people at the end of the day? We always talk, and it's Ennick, because, like we said, they're more concerned about building a cinema across the road or building their airport. And this is another thing today. Like, just let us know what's going on with Kane, whether there's anything going on at all. Just be like, look, I don't know why you're worrying for. It's just all media talk, but they won't. I feel like they like it. So it was a mega team striker linked with Lily White's Conference Club. Oh, God. I can't wait to get out in the stadium. I went to open training session. It was good. How was that, actually? I wish I went. Galini looks funny, to be fair. I quite like him already. He's still getting paid, so I'm not sure how to trade. It's kind of pathetic, really. I agree, Edward. I do agree, but I'm just trying to... play devil's advocate? I'm trying to show you from a different light. Once you've had enough in something, you've had enough. Like, if your boss is being an arsehole, yeah, okay, you still have to turn up. And I know my boss doesn't pay me 200k a week, but I don't know. I feel like everybody's been in this situation before, and I think you'd be lying if you hadn't. And if you hadn't, then you've obviously been in some great life situations. Oh, my God. Well, rumour is he's going, Darren. I mean, what's his name? The geezer that follows me on Twitter that's a big Tottenham fan, who also said that Harry Kane was having a COVID test today. So, what's his name? He's an ex-Spurs player. I can't remember. He said he's off soon. So, I don't know if he's in the know how many, tiers he's got. Whether he's tier 1 for information. But that's something to hold on to, Darren. John Terry lost his captaincy for... Oh, lovely. Wayne Bridge. Isn't that so that's Harry Redknapp's, like, not cousin, but you know what I mean. No, I agree. I agree with you, Edwardson. I agree that it's not professional. I'm just trying to show from another way of looking at things. But yeah. Oh, Jesus. I'm a bit slow on these today. There's loads of you in here. Welcome. The only thing that is obviously bad is probably the way Levy would listen if he kicks up. But if you could, the thing Joe Lewis say of agree, Levy will dig his heels in even more, which is why I think it was a massive risk from Kane doing it. But I can also see why Kane has done it. Preach it. Don't be surprised if Levy doesn't buy Kane and place it in place on. Probably. He has done that. We have done that in the past. Never mind Kane, just do your best to keep hold of Winks. Up the Winks. You do realise, Andrew, he's just here for banter now. I can't get rid of him. Oh, here comes. As far as I'm concerned, Harry's got to get on with it. Does one player really run the whole team? If he goes, fans will be mourning for a month. Let's just get on with it and move forward. The Mark Agambar. Well, this is what I mean. We knew he's been gone for ages. I just think fans are ticked off the way he's done it. What I keep saying is, what has made a professional man flip a switch and not decide to start to train in an unprofessional way? The people that he's been under for so long, the board. Don't get me started on Managerial. I just don't understand it was taking this long. The fact that if Kane goes, it's going to take us triple that to get a striker in to replace him. To be vice captain of the club and not even warrant the club meeting discuss his future is bang out of order and disrespectful, but we knew Harry was all about Harry when he claimed Eric's. Oh, God, Ed. Wow. Hit on the money there, Ed. Welcome. There's no such thing as a gentleman's agreement unless it's agreement written in a contract and black and white. I understand Kane's frustration, but it must remain professional. 90 minutes, welcome to the stream. I've been saying this the whole time. I agree, 100%. You should have stayed professional, but we're all human. When something frustrates you so much, there's only so much you can take and you will snap. And that is why I think Harry Kane has snapped today. I'm not saying it was the right thing to do. I'm just saying if it was me, I probably would have done so. Welcome to the stream, everyone. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button. There'll be more Hollie's Hot Takes. Nippon's asked about a call-in show. We could do that if you want to. But Hollie's Hotspurs will take full reign when the season starts because they were good with everyone that joins them in the podcast. Mimoba has been told he won't be getting his iconic 11 shirt. Yeah, there was rumours that he didn't even have a shirt. I would rather have Ryan Mason back in midfield over Winks. Whoa, Jesus. Whoa, okay. The two subcon Spurs manager, whole squad, which I haven't. It is Graham Roberts. That's the geezer. He was like, no, he's having a COVID test. And he was like, no, Sissoko's leaving. Take that as you will. I don't know how in the know he is. Stinky Winky needs to go to Southampton. I mean, I'm down for that because Southampton are literally around the corner. They posted a thing, well, not around the corner. I live in Beastly Eastleigh, but Harry Winks might buy a house in Beastly Eastleigh. You never know. It might become a season ticket, the Eastleigh Ladies Football Club. Then we'll live in lavish. Who will be next year's number 9? Who knows? Goalini was born to be a goal. Oh, dear. They are, Chris. They are. Up the apple bars. I remember when we were a team that wins trophies. Now players have leave to win anything. John Foyth, Europa League, after being told he was not good enough for Spurs. Same with Ericsson. I think it's every person that has left has won a trophy. I think that's actually I think that's a true fact. I think everyone that's left. Kyle Walker, obviously. Who else? Didn't that geezer that was a whippy winger, Nakudu, didn't he win something the other day as well? Well, Harry Kane will be one of the most expensive bench warmers in football. Unless, well, his name isn't Gareth Bale though, Edwarderson. Players misses. Whoa. Who said that? Is that Sam? Are you in the know? The league starts in 2 weeks. Nuno doesn't need this. He needs to be back and doesn't deserve to undermined by all this. Agreed. And Jonah, I think that's something we haven't actually talked about tonight is the fact that obviously I was a bit underwhelmed that Nuno came in, obviously with the Conte talk and all this stuff. But I've only seen positive vibes coming out of Tottenham. Obviously, not today. Today's been a bit negative. But the players seem to be on the same level again, on the same page. They seem to be wanting to do stuff under Nuno, which is something we didn't really see on the Jose, did we really? Apart from the select few with Kane, Sonny and that. But it does kind of just show you, like, Nuno, you knew what you're in for, but now have some more crap. Like, I do feel sorry for him. What he's done with the changing room, though, I think is pretty cool. I think we need that, obviously, with our shaky defence, to go through plays and set pieces and stuff and how to defend them. But yeah, I agree. We haven't really spoken about Nuno, but I do feel sorry for him. He knew what he was signing up for in a sense. It's Tottenham, but this is just a whole nother ball game for him. So thank you for bringing that up, Jonah. Great performance. I do like some of the stuff he puts on. I'm like, mate, I don't know what you're going on about, but yeah, it is quite funny. And hopefully he's right about Sissoko. Harry hasn't uttered a word since the golf interview with Neville. My thought is that an agreement has already been reached. You reckon? This is what I'm saying. You can't, like, you're going to a Euros with Jack Grealish. You're not telling me they haven't spoken about it. The fact that the Romero deal's taking so long, they keep pushing for extra money. I'm a bit like, do you know we've got money? Because it's news to me, but maybe they know that Kane's gone. I don't know. It's all very strange. I don't get the point that something couldn't get done in the Olympics, but Brian Gill did. It's probably an excuse. I didn't really know much about, I can't say his name, Tommy. I'm calling him Tommy. And I also didn't really know much about Gill, really, so I did some research on Gill. But yeah, it's very strange that one happened, the other didn't. What Tottenham 25 squad could look like if Fabio Pachulia completes summer transfer deals? Good guess. It's taken us 4 weeks to get Romero done. Reckon Saints should pay the Spurs fans to watch Winksy. He cost us enough. I'd be down for that. Maybe I might step foot in St Mary's if that happens. It's not a thing that Kane has not had chances to win trophies. He's been final semi-finals and didn't score any of them, so he needs to take some blame for himself. Agreed. People have said this lots, but I think sometimes he's played in them when he's been injured, which, again, I'm not trying to defend Kane. I'm just saying circumstances haven't been great, but agreed. He does ghost in finals, and I don't know why. It is a make or break season for the Nobile Lo Celso. I feel like this Lo Celso is Lamela 2.0. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm really feeling it. Trips has won the fight, yes. And I must admit, Trips was crap after the World Cup when he came back to Tottenham and then left and like excelled. But credit to Trips because he was good in the Euros as well this summer. There's a new update on Harry Kane futures. Digital sources point to Man City confidence. Oh. Man City are confident. Well, they must be because Harry Kane's confident he's leaving. When Tottenham beat Arsenal on New Year's Day, Graham Roberts expressed a love for Watch faithful. Oh. It's a coincidence that we're going for the likes of Romero, 45 million plus, and other players, and Atlanta are taking a piss for ages, asking more money. This is what I'm saying. Thank you, 90 minutes. They must know something's going on. They must know something we don't. And this is what I'm saying. There's no way you're pushing and pushing and pushing when you know you're trying to play a hard bargain with Daniel Levy anyway. Or, I can't say his name. So I just call him Don Fabio. This is what I'm saying. They must know. They must have an inkling. There's got to be rumours circulating in the World Football group chat on WhatsApp. Not literally, but you know what I'm trying to say. And there must be some sort of football chat going on that we don't know about. Funny how Sky turned up the training ground but not a Villa's trip. I know. They just love it. They thrive it. I thought it was transfer deadline day. I thought, Jesus Christ, I've woke up and it's transfer deadline day. Having Jones agreement with Levy is like shaking hand with Wolverine. Straight facts, my friend. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to have to check this out, man. You're going to send me a link. Levy likes to try and get the biggest amount of cam for his players. But when Klopp tried to do that to him, he can't handle it. Things go sour very fast. They'll never get done. I know, his ego. He's got the biggest bald ego head I've ever seen off anyone. And that's probably why we made, what's his face? Danny Rose rot in the reserves for so long. Because his ego was just like, no, you're not training with us. You want to leave, you can, but I'm not sending you. You can sit in the reserves. Like, I doubt he'd do that with Kane, obviously, but it wouldn't surprise me. I was at the MK game and Nuno was fuming at Doherty. Heard he isn't happy with him. Do you reckon we'll get rid of him and Aurier? Oh, really? I think Doherty coming to Spurs was never really a good idea anyway, because I wouldn't rate Doherty higher than Serge. It was a bit of like a backwards transfer. You want to get someone that's better than Serge Aurier, so Serge Aurier plays on the bench. Instead, we kind of did the reverse. Because Doherty's played under Nuno before, do you keep him? But you're saying me that he's fuming at him. Is it a risk worth taking? I'm probably Serge's biggest critic. And there was a time period when he got okay, and I was like, oh, that's all right. And now he's just fallen off a planet again. He's so rash. He's like Sanchez. His pace gets him out of a lot of trouble, and then he just completely kebab someone. So I would prefer both of them to go, but that's not going to happen. So I'd like to see Serge go, just because I think we'd get a bigger fee for him, especially if he goes back to a French club. And then make Doherty the geezer that stays on the bench, just because he's worked under Nuno before. Hopefully they can relight some fire, so to speak, and then get someone in that's a better right back. But at the moment, anybody's guess is to go. Hollie, would like to see your sister in an episode of it. I can ask her, but I doubt it. She's not like, she likes football, she plays football, but she's not really hot on her heels about Tottenham in general, what's going on at the minute. But you will see her on I'm going on the Skywalk for my birthday. Well, it should have been my birthday in September. She's treated me to the Skywalk and the abseiling thing. So there might be some content on Friday daytime, and she'll be in that. So you can get your dosage of mini Agenbar if you like. I'm more concerned about the effect on the England national team than I am the Tottenham about this. This isn't the sign of an England captain pretty obvious Harry Kane wants out. It is, I mean, it's true. But the thing is, I think lots of us have seen this for a long while. We've just been closed off to it. We didn't want to think it. And now it's actually happened. We're kind of, as fans, ticked off that he's throwing his toys out of the pram. But I just think we're just all taken back of how he's gone about it. But again, I keep saying this the whole time. If you're frustrated, there's only so much you can take. And he snapped. True, that is also true, Jenna, when you say it like that. Also true. Maybe he will go again. That is true. Let him go once. Why won't he do it again? Like Chrissy said as well. You got rid of Doherty once, so could get rid of him again. Just other players need to go first. That's what I mean. I'd rather keep Doherty on a back burner just because obviously I want to see Serge go first. And that's how crap it's got. We want to see there's other players to go before the likes of Doherty need to go. Chelsea not giving up. Romelu Lukaku returns despite all signs pointing no to report. Oh, what tier are you, Sam? In the know. I think it's all bull crap, to be honest. 90 minutes. I don't really want a Darwin. I feel like he's another. I know I've said this whole time we need squad depth. We had squad depth last season. We just didn't have enough quality. I just don't think Adama Traore is really someone we really need to get in right now, because he won't last a full game here. He'll be an impact sub. So I'd rather not get Adama. I think we need to sort out our defensive issues first with a right back and a centre back. Ideally 2 centre backs, but with this Romero deal, it's taking too long. So I think it's going to be Dyer and Romero playing at the back. As horrible as that sounds, Levy's always overvalues players when it comes to saying 13 for Ben Davies. Levy's a decimal point needs to move one place to the left. See, people like, I know Ben Davies is getting on, and he's not the best defender, but I would rather keep him as a backup, because if we want to play a more defensive outlook, you stick Ben Davies in, because you know he's not going to get down the line. If you want to attack teams, you stick Regular in that. I think Ben Davies would just be good for squad depth, even though he hasn't got. I just don't think we're going to, like you said, you need to move the decimal to sell it. He's not going to go for 30 million. It's very difficult. The fact that we're so light and shit on defenders anyway, I'd just keep Ben Davies, personally. Be interested to see where Sessegnon plays. Will he play higher up the pitch, or will he play as a wing back? That'd be quite interesting. If they take Sissoko or Dyer, then they can have Kane on the cheap. You can have all of them, all of the shit, and you can have Kane. If this isn't time to throw Dane Scarlett in the deep end, I don't know. It'd be too soon. I had a friend I used to play with, and she was playing. We were either the same. No, I think she was a year younger than me, and they pushed her up to women's football, and she literally broke her ankle. It's too soon to push people up. Went in the wind, up the Akenboom, up the Kylan. Savitsis went, no, hell no, I'm not going near there. Or it dies so we'll be travelling to Mars. That is one small step for Man, one huge leap for Spurs fans. You need to stay up there and all. Are you new, Ali? I like you, man. I like your banter. Harry Kane is solid. I can see him with his little cowboy hat on. With Kane and Bell gone, we'll be back to average Tottenham. I think we've sadly been average Tottenham for a very long. Last season was interesting to say the least. I think we've been pretty average. I think the trouble is with Tottenham, I think I always say this, we rode the wave for too long. When we came second to Leicester in the league, that's when we should have invested. Instead, we didn't. And that's when it all started to crumble. And we've been riding this wave for too long. The board have been too, I wouldn't even say they've been reactive. They just kind of let it sit in the back burner. Now we are in the shit. It's going to cost too much money to be where we need to be. And I don't think we've overachieved. I think we're so used to being in top four now that that's what we want. And if we don't get that, we're not happy. But when you've got a nice stadium like that, and this rebuild was rumoured for so long, you're sat there thinking, well, what's going on? And again, I'm getting frustrated. I won't suddenly support Arsenal though. I'm not that low. Otherwise, who would you say is a bigger turmoil, Spurs or Arsenal? Depends who Arsenal sign. It really does. I mean, they signed Ben. I don't know how why would you even part 50 million with Ben White? People say it's because his English quota. I agree. But he's not proven for Brighton. And yes, he might step up and he might be quality for Arsenal. But again, 50 million is a lot of money for someone that I wouldn't say is proven. But they've signed a centre-back. We haven't, so I can't really say. I think it depends who they get in next. Personally, I'd love Ollie Watkins at Spurs if Kane goes, but would you, expensive, which striker would you have at Spurs? I really don't know. Ollie Watkins is a good shout. But again, like I say, he'd be expensive. And right now, we don't have money. I even say this, even if there wasn't COVID restrictions and we had Lady Gaga go ahead, we had all the other events, I still don't think that money would have been reinvested in the club as we all would have thought it would have been. So I don't think saying we would have the money if that was a sense. I still don't think we would. But like you say, I think we just left it too late. Everything's imploding on itself. Who would I have at Spurs? It's very difficult. I would have liked Giroud, but that's not going to happen now because he's gone to AC Milan, hasn't he? I would have liked Giroud, but that's not going to happen because wherever that man's gone, he's reliable. I don't know. We need someone young, like you say, Ollie Watkins, but it's too much. I just don't know. If City get Kane and Grealish, other teams might as well not bother. They will lash everyone. It'd be like the Bundesliga, wouldn't it? To feel hopefully something comes of that. Oh, Sanchez to go. It'd be lovely. I'd love that. What are your thoughts and predictions for the game Wednesday against us, Chelsea fan? Hello, Cheap Slime. I like the name. To be honest, I haven't really thought about it. With the utter carnage that's happened today, or lack of carnage, really, because we don't know whether it's set in stone truth about Harry Kane. I haven't really thought about anything else. You obviously beat Arsenal 2-1, but that's not difficult. You being Chelsea and then being Arsenal. I'd like to say it's closer, but in a personal opinion, I just think with a lot of crap that's going on at our club, I don't think players are going to be in the right mindset. I'd hate to predict a loss, but if we win, I'll be happy. So I reckon you'll beat us. I don't want to say 3-1 because then we're worse than Arsenal, but I would say you'll win it comfortably, shall we say. I think we'll score. Don't ask me who's going to score because I haven't got a clue. But I think you'll win comfortably. But welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, Cheap Slime. It's not always like this. Kane surprised at this point with many of this. He's failed to rise about pettiness and levy. Agreed. But I keep saying what I've said all night. So it ticks you off so much. There's only so much you can take of it. Lewis Dunk, Ben White. Fair shout. I think we were rumoured to get Lewis Dunk ages ago, but that's all kind of gone. Maybe should offer a deal to Man City. Ruben Dias, Phil Foden, Rima. I like that. I'm down. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm down. Even if we get Laporte. Quite like Laporte. Kane surprised and disappointed many with this. He's failed to rise above the best. I know. I'd be the same. Sanchez gets to Seville. It probs defo helps Chelsea out and tries to get the centre back from them. Who are they trying to get? Balotelli? No. If that's what I think it is, no. Kane surprised and disappointed many of this is for you've written again of Radisson. Whoa. What do you think of Patrick Bamford? DCL Everton as a replacement striker for Kane is sold. Bamford excites me. But again, I don't know whether we can keep that form up for the whole time. DCL, Calvert-Lewin. I really don't know. I don't know who Everton have bought in. Have they bought in any strikers and that? Would they let him go this close to the transfer window shutting? This is the trouble. It's too late. My prediction for Wednesday, pain. I just won't watch it, I don't think. I won't bring myself to it. If we spend the Kane money, I don't see why we can't get good again. I trust Patici, but Levy does the negotiations. That's what I mean. It's just, ugh. No, it's just horrible. Even thinking about it, it's horrendous. I agree. I'm more confident the money was spent properly because we obviously have Don Fabio. I can't say his name. So I'm a bit more confident in that sense because when we obviously sold Bell, we've only just got rid of Lamela, so that speaks volumes. So I'm more confident, but I'm still not hopeful. Oh, Musa Dembele, what a legend! Chelsea after Conte from Seville, they are, aren't they? Weren't we in the race for that? But he was like, "Now I want Champions League football." Bye. So he's decided to go for that. If we do sell Kane and want Calvert-Lewin, Fairs. I mean, I could see that link up with Sonny. But I don't know whether they'll let him go. Yeah, Tottenham are going to get scored by Chelsea on Wednesday. Agreed. Dominic Calvert-Lewin will cost 60 mil minimum. Depends who they would get in though, because I would feel that Everton will want to get a replacement, and is it too late for that to happen? Who knows? We always get Diego. No, not Costa. Not that biting man. He bites everyone. I don't like him personally. Yeah, we were, and then he was like, "I want Champions League football," and that was us gone. Why should Kane behave properly when dealing with Levy? Thank you, Ali. This is what I'm saying. I've said this the whole stream, and you're probably bored of me saying it now, but how can you not sit here and think the man that's so professional has now flipped the switch and he's like, nah, I've had enough? Like, how could your brain not be thinking, oh shit, okay, I'm going to look past Kane behaving the way he has, and I'm going to look to why he's behaving the way he has. And then it just kind of like clicks for me. That's what I did. And I was like, actually, no, okay, I'm ticked off that Kane's done this, but I can also see why he's done it. Prime Kane or Prime Bale? Well, I'm going to say Prime Bale because it's Bale, and he's the reason I fell in love with football. So, Derby defeats losing the North London derby. I think I speak for every Spurs fan. As much as we hate Chelsea, we hate Arsenal more. There is a bloke who would charge you for salt €100. Yes, Jonah. I won't turn out to another Nikudu. I hope so. There's a lot of potential there. I just hope that he can live up to it. This is the worrying thing as well. I thought Brian Gill was a replacement for obviously Bale. But Bale was mainly playing out on the right, wasn't he? But Gill is a left winger or left mid, which means I'm thinking, does that mean Lucas is going to play out on wide right? Well, it depends what formation obviously Nuno goes for, but I'm thinking in my head, does that mean he's going to play Son up front because he knows Kane's going? And Gill out on the left? My brain is ringing alarms. That's all I'm saying. I feel like if you piece everything together, it's been building up to this moment today. Now, don't call me a conspiracist, but that's all I'm saying. Gill needs to bulk up for me. How old is he? He's only 20, isn't he? His time will come. I mean, you looked at Sessegnon. Sessegnon was literally a twig before he had his loan move to Hoffenheim. So there's hope. Harry Kane is doing himself no favours, though, by not training. It will take him longer to get fit for the season. Lots of players have poor seasons if they don't have pre-season. Agreed to it. I do agree. Like I said, when you've had enough, you've had enough. And I think when you're in that mindset, you'll have sod training. And that sounds bad from a professional, but I don't know. I just feel like that's how he's feeling. I'm just trying to put a spin on it because all I've seen on Twitter is people having a go at Kane. And rightly so, because it is unprofessional. But you need to think why he's being unprofessional. Why has he flipped that switch? No way is a Bale replacement. I was being hopeful. I was just thinking position-wise. I was like, oh, Bale's gone. Does that mean he's necessarily going to... But you need to remember, Bale wasn't playing every game. He wasn't starting every game. Who's to say Gill won't start every game? That's what my head was. Maybe he's in rotation with Bergwijn. But you are right. Yeah, he is. But he looks like he will get knocked off the ball so easy. Some right backs will have him for breakfast. Agreed. Maybe that's when we need to phase him in. Maybe I was stupid to think he was a Bale replacement, or a Bergwijn replacement, but I don't know. I just thought that was a system, and then now all this Kane stuff's come out, and you think to yourself, something someone's playing up top by himself. Gil should stop spending time with his brother Howard from being. Yeah, they do look very similar. At the end of the day, Hollie Levy's a financial expert. That's what the company ENIC is. His priority over money. He's too busy building Levy land. He is. He's building a massive airport. The little egg. Oh, I actually have. I don't know if you can. If you're new to the streamlet, I do call him an egg for a reason. So if you are new to the stream, that stays up. Gil's a natural left winger. That's why I didn't realise he was a left winger. I didn't know that. And that's why I was like, oh, okay. Does that mean he's going to be in rotation with Son? Does that mean he's going to be in rotation with Session? Because Session could play higher up the pitch. I think he was doing that for Hoffenheim, wasn't he? He wasn't playing naturally as a left wing, but he was playing more higher up the pitch. So who knows? I've been told a local resident. Is that what you tried to say? Reside? I don't know, I'm confused. Please help me out. He's like staring at us, isn't he? I don't know what's worse, Harry Winks staring or Daniel Levy and his bald-headed egg. Aren't happy with Levy getting white webs. White webs? Oh my god, I'm very confused. MTS aren't happy with Levy getting white. Alan, I'm very confused right now. Levy negotiates everyone who was in the Poundland to buy a toothbrush. Levy gets the till of 80 pence now, with the remaining paid installments over 2 years. We joke, but this literally, we all know how he operates, which is why I'm like, why are we all pissed off at Kane for like being like, no, I've had a fucking enough. You don't listen to me. I'm done. What has made him click like that? Oh, I know. Bald egg. So I don't know. I just think it's a very awkward situation. It was like this when Jose obviously got the sack. We were all up in arms at different things because we couldn't pinpoint one person to blame. Oh, golf course. Local residents aren't happy with lol. Oh, where's he stuck it? I think his yacht was in Portsmouth the other day, Daniel Levy's or Enix. I might have to go headbutt it. Apparently Spurs wants to pay money starting next year for Romero. That's one of the main reasons it's been put. Oh my god. Really? If you hurry up and sorted out the naming rights of the stadium rather than battling between like 3 million, we'd be alright. Levy's stare is more intense. It is quite, isn't it? Oh, let me hang on. That is quite intimidating, to be fair. Yeah, I don't like it, to be fair. You are right there. But no, today's been very therapeutic. I hope it's been quite therapeutic for you guys. And to be fair, the points you all guys raised was very interesting, especially I think it was you, Joan, about the Nuno. I think it was you, Joan, about Nuno. Saying how it's not fair on him. But it's quite good. I like Hollie's Hot Takes because it's quite nice to interact with you guys because obviously Hollie's Hotspurs is very much like a podcast. So I do try to bring your conversations up, but this is quite nice to just get all your thoughts and feelings out there. Like I say, there probably won't. I need to see what our week's like next week. It might be Hollie's Hot Takes next week. I'm sure if something happens, there will be. Hollie's Hotspurs will air the day after our first game against City, which I'm kind of putting off till we get to that point. Thank you for giving. No worries. I thought I needed to do a Hollie's Hot Takes tonight just because it was been irritating me all day, and I'm sure it's been winding all of you Spurs fans up all day. You reckon it's quite flattering, do you? I do not know, Nippon. Probably next week. Like I say, Hollie's Hotspurs isn't happening till games are starting. John, mate, welcome. You're probably a bit late to the show, but you can rewind and watch it all, my friend. But thank you for joining. I was a bit early, as per usual, on the whole stream arch. Nuno signed 3 years makes me wonder if Levy's waiting for someone better than Nuno will be sacked. Possibly. No, straight right. I don't know. Obviously, I'm really bad at keeping up to whoever subs and stuff. But if you have watched any of my content, especially the England watch-alongs I did, not live, I recorded them, you will understand why I cannot do a video straight after a game. I know lots of people on here, I don't know who you watch, but loads of people do like a live podcast or a live show straight after the game. I can't bring myself to do it because I'll just sit here and like a bit like I've done today. I get a bit too into it, and just go off the rails. So that's why Hollie's Hotspurs is always after a game, the next day, for me to fester over it. Welcome, Joe. Hello. What was supposed to be? I might have it. Don Fabio with a crown on, maybe. Will we run? Just watch Matt Haynes. Oh, nice. How was Hayes' show? I love Matt. He's class. But yeah, tonight was just literally to throw out my thoughts and feelings, explaining how I think Harry Kane is like a rubber band in the sense that he's just, things happen, you get frustrated, you let it slide, you let it slide, you let it slide. He wants to move to City. They're obviously not listening to him. So bang, Leicester band snaps. He snaps, and that's why he hasn't turned up to training today. And then obviously we're all pissed off because it's Harry Kane. He's a god, so to speak, in the Tottenham world. So obviously fans are a bit annoyed that hasn't put the club in front of himself. But like I say, the thing I keep going on about this whole stream, you need to sit here and think to yourself, what has made such a professional man such as Harry Kane flip a switch? And that's pretty much what the whole show is about tonight. And it was really interesting to get some of your thoughts and feelings. No live games over here, Jin's very hot. Yeah, that's why I don't have any live watch-alongs. Even if you watch the recorded ones, I was swearing it so much I just had to leave it in. Especially, I think it was the Scotland game was probably the worst one. Rashford if I was soon be releasing the vaccine reduce effects of Levy. I need that. I am now double vaccinated. I need a third. Away from Daniel Levy. Are you going to... Right, I'm going to the Skywalk on Thursday because my sister has bought me a ticket. I have not given money to Daniel Levy. My sister has. I gathered it was the away kit. And I keep saying this, right? It's growing on me because I'm sat here thinking that shirt's going to be in a few years. No one's going to have a shirt like that. It's going to be iconic. And then I remember it's Nike, so that might be wrong. They might just regurgitate it. But I'm thinking about it. If I do, I'll get Son on the back. And I'll get Agenbar on the white one. But we will see. I don't want to get... I mean, it could fund Romero. You know, a shirt. It could fund Romero. But that's it. So I'm not giving money to Daniel Levy because I'm not buying the Skywalk. My sister is. So watch out for that video. I don't sadly have a GoPro to record the whole thing of me going up the Skywalk and abseiling, but there will be like a mini vlog. So if you want to see mini Agenbar, my sister in it, you will be. That'll probably be out Friday. But no, I have really enjoyed tonight. Remember, if you are new to the channel, please remember to hit that subscribe button. We're getting so close now to the overall watch time. So tell your friends, get them to watch the show, rewind it, wherever, because if I can get the overall watch time up, I'll be able to, I think it gets monetized, the channel, so you'll be able to like do super chats, or I'll be able to do like VIP stream. Oh, I don't even know. But anyway, same here, not good. Exactly that. My sister will be, set me a vibe. But no, I appreciate everyone that has tuned in today. Obviously, keep your eye on my socials for... I'll probably put a post out if I do a Hollie's Hot Takes random. But I appreciate every single one of you coming in here. It's nice to have all your different opinions. And I will see you very soon. Now, obviously, the outro video is Harry Kane. So please do not cry. Levy out, Hollie in. I'll rate that. I do rate that, man. And everybody says, oh, you're a Levy outer, but you've got all the merchandise behind you. I can tell you right now, I did not buy that, and I did not buy that. My friend gave me these, and I got that for my birthday, and I got that for Christmas. So I haven't funded Levy nothing. So enjoy your evenings, people. Try not to get too sad with Kane. Everything happens for a reason in life. That's the way to look at things. But until next time, I'll see you all soon. Laters.